Hi everyone. So I'm back for the next installment of my messy mini journal, and this is where I had painted all the pages in this little junk journal, all of these little ripped, torn, junky little pages. And so of course all the paint is dry now, and today I'm going to collage some little bits and pieces onto these pages. I'm still going to do it fairly quickly and not be thinking too much about it, but just sticking things down and having fun. I wanted to show you on the first page and this page in here. It's funny, they both ended up being green, but these are the pages that I used the pencil. And what I was doing was just scribbling into the paint where it was thicker. And so it leaves some not only visual texture, but actually some physical texture there, because it kind of digs down into the thickness of the paint. So that someone had asked about that, so I wanted to make sure to clarify that. And you can see it here on this page as well. It just makes some cool texture and just little scribbles, and just a fun way to do that. So you can see I just grabbed a few pieces out of my scrap bin and started throwing them up here on the desk so that I could just start just grabbing some papers and gluing them down. I'm going to be using probably a combination of things. I'll be using my Elmer's Extreme glue stick. I'll probably be using some of this fluid matte medium, and possibly be using a little bit of this tacky glue. And so that's it. So it's just going through and sticking down. There may be times when I have to stop and dry it, especially if I use the liquid stuff. So I hope you enjoy watching the process, and I'll probably come back and talk again when I'm finished. Okay, so we got that step done. Let me move this stuff all back out of the way. All right. So I just thought I would flip through and show how they ended up looking so far. I did come back and put another little piece of this paper in the corner because I found it there, and so I was like, yeah, it needed a little bit more. So that's what the first one looks like. Okay, here's the next one. Okay, and there will be more going on these pages. Have no fear. They're by no means finished yet. Okay, this is the flip up one. Oops. There we go. All right. I love using all of these little bits of colored paper, and this is why we hang on to them, guys, because they're just so cool, these little tiny pieces. So save them and use them in something like this. You get a whole lot of use out of them, you know, and enjoyment from them. I like the way this page looks. Of course, I love these colors together. So, and then finding that little piece of like a flower design on that napkin to go right in the center of that looks awesome. I was excited to find that on the napkin. Okay, this is you know, deli paper. Painted deli paper works really well. It just totally like disappears into your page, and so all you see is the paint that was on there. I love that. Okay, and then the next. This was just a little white blotch of paint on a deli paper. Looks amazing. Here's another deli paper. Isn't that neat how it just disappears? So it just looks like all of that was painted directly on that page. It's fun using this stuff, let me tell you. It's little hand-torn circles. You know, I'll be scribbling and doodling and all in this book too, so we'll be, there's a whole lot more fun to come is what I'm trying to say. More fun. I just love it. I'm having a blast. Just having a blast. This is a napkin that I was adding here and here. Thought that was kind of cool. I loved how this piece blended on top of that pink page there. I love that. I liked how this pattern, the blue in this pattern piece, pattern instructions was the same as the blue on the page. Kind of neat. Yep, I really like this. It's a ton of fun. Now, a lot of the stuff that you're looking at right now is going to be covered up, okay? So if you're making one of these, make sure that anything you put on these background pages, that you don't mind if it gets covered. Now, some of the colors and some of the images may peek through and still be there, but a lot of this will get covered depending on what I do next. There's probably going to be a little bit more paint, and so just know that anything you put down on the basic background pages could get covered up. So if it's something that you really want to see later, make sure you save it and put that on as we get farther, you know, down the road and closer to the end, you know, what's going on top of the backgrounds, and save those things for your actual, maybe your focal image. But yes, I am really, really enjoying this. I really love this page here. I love this orange and green paint to begin with, and then I had a scrap of a napkin that was really pretty. I love that. And then I found this negative space from a little tiny one of my little morsel borders that I had cut out, and I actually saved that little strip from the outside edge, and it looks so cute there. I just love it. So, you know, there's nothing too little to save, hardly. I mean, yeah, some of this stuff, like this kind of stuff, This will go in the trash for sure. I don't keep them that small. But yeah, and I put a piece of my homemade washi tape right here where I had torn that page, and so I told you it would get repaired as I went along, and sure enough, I found a piece of my tape in that scrap box, and I just stuck it right down there. And this is left over from the snack bag book page that I just did when I had that colored tissue paper and I had attached it to a label sheet. And that was the trimmings where I had trimmed it off the edge of the page. So I was able to use a piece of that. So that was fun. And I love this. I love how simple that looks. It's so cool. Just the dictionary paper with the butterfly punched out of it. Little negative spaces are awesome when you're collaging. And this page I really enjoyed because I had just thrown black paint on there because I knew it was right at the end and we didn't have black really necessarily anywhere else in the book, and so I just threw excuse me, so I just threw some black paint on there, and knowing that the covers on the back were black and white, so I just did black and white on this page. And then I saw that green flower sitting there in my pile, and I was like, oh, that'd be so cute. Bright little pop of color on all that black and white. Oh, and I did come back after I had turned off the camera. I had this piece of tissue that had the little dots on it. And I had seen it when I was putting down my black and white stuff. I had seen it, but the air conditioner kept blowing it because it's so light. And every time the air would cut on, it would blow across my desk. So after I was all finished with the filming and everything, then I see that piece of dotted tissue paper again. So I grabbed it and tore it up and put it in like 3 spots here on the page. So I think that adds a lot to those security envelope pieces, especially because they're white, mainly white on the background there. So anyway, guys, that's the next step in my messy mini, and I'll be back again for the next step soon. So thank you for watching, and I will talk to you soon. Bye.